There you go. Can you see it okay?
Yes.
All right, great.
Yes.
All right, here we go. So the very first step that you need to do to take the tests, okay? Again, you don't have to have an account. You don't need a schedule with whoever, but you just take the exam between, let's see, let's take a look. What was the time there? Between this time set, the Saturday starting 1 a.m. and it'll be available until 9:30 Sunday. That's 9:30 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. Meaning that you need to start the test no later than 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. Okay. So if you start afterwards, that's not going to work. So be sure to understand. All right. So let's say you are ready to take it. So you need to think about it. You need to prepare at least 10, 15 minutes to set up because you need to download, certain things and, for example, the web browser and things like that. And also go through the authentication and take a picture and things like that. So it's going to take probably, I think, more than 10 minutes, probably 15. In some cases, depending on your computer and your internet might be slow, then it could take a little longer, okay? And also it's a good idea take the test when there's not much traffic. Times like this, like 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m., there's, pretty heavy traffic on the internet, right? So if your internet connection is slow, bandwidth is low, then I think it's a good idea take other time, like a morning if you can, or early afternoon, okay? So that's kind of my advice for those people who have slow connection. All right. So let's say you are ready to take it. So first thing you need to do is you go to quizzes from GoView, assessment, quizzes, okay? Then you'll see those tests available. So the test we are looking at is here, unlock test 1. That's 627 to 628. You're going to click that. Then it opens up preview. I think a little bit too big, so let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. So give you a kind of guides how to take it, time available, things you already know. But notice the time limit is 100 minutes. So if you go over 110, I think the maximum you can go is 110 minutes. Beyond that, you'll have some deductions in terms of points, okay? Then what you're going to do is you just like other, on things that you go through, you're creating your account on your bank and then different account, then they ask you to install web extensions, other stuff. So this is one of them. So they're going to require Chrome extensions. So it's going to install it on your Chrome, not to your computer, actually. So extension required, click get started. And this will switch to Chrome, yes. I don't think this is the one. I think it's reading as something else. This is Chrome already. Let's do it again. Make sure I'm as a student. There you go. Okay. As a student. Okay. There, I started. I think it's already there, I believe, because I already installed it. Okay. Extension empty. Okay. Set this up. It's my extensions. There you go. Service stations. So no lock. There. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So a little different because I already installed it. And so that's what you need to do. Is you installed it, but it was not enabled. As I think that's something you can do. You go to extensions and manage extensions and enable it. If you can find the on-or-lock extension, it's already there. Okay. Now this is not the first time because I have tried a couple of times. That's why it's happened. If it's the very first time, I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. So don't worry about too much. Then you just agree to whatever the policy, then continue. Then one thing we're going to do is we're going to use your cell phone as a side camera, external camera. So your built-in camera, which is webcam at the top, or it could be your laptop built-in camera. So that would be your main camera capturing front, and we're going to use the side or external camera as your with your cell phone. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just turn on, then set up, then video, external camera. So I'll set up just like that. Or somewhere you can see your side view. Okay. Then continue the assessment. Then it's going to check your systems in terms of your computer, run system set. There you go, it's ready. I think it's pretty quick. So that's something you want to do here on Unlock mobile app. So what you're going to do is you just scan it with your smartphone and go through that. Then it'll have authentication steps, asking questions and things like that. Then here's the guideline, and no books, no notes, no other computer application. Then Excel, so you need to use Excel, and you can use Microsoft Word if you want it. Okay. And you need to have a valid photo ID ready. Then Google Chrome extension that you have seen. Test your webcam, microphone, internet. There's only one monitor, no dual monitors. Properly dressed. Okay. That's a good one. And contact unlock support if you experience technical issues. I think that's what it talks about here. Okay. And testing area, sit at the desk or table, quiet, well-lit room, pretty standard. So make sure in the good environment to take the tests. During the test, stay in the view, the same room entire time, no breaks, no phone, no other devices, no heads, hoodies, and all that. Do not use AI tools, chatbot, and things like that on the web. No talking, no reading questions, recording exam, things like that. Okay. Again, contact analog support if you're having issues. I think that's kind of same thing repeated here, not allowed. Then this is the allowed website. This is the Excel, the data file that you're going to download. Okay, so you're going to click that. Then you'll download Excel file. Okay, if it's Word, then Word will be downloaded. Okay, so that's it. Then review authentication settings, digital authentication. Okay. So that's kind of give you, an idea what you're going to do next. So you're going to do begin authentication. And, go through all these things. For example, I have add block extension is on my Chrome. So I need to disable it. Okay, so make sure you don't have all kind of those stuff like I have. I have probably, there's a Bitwarden password manager. I may have something else like a shopping extension and all that. So make sure you disable all that before you're taking the tests. Okay. So basically that's what's going to happen. Okay. So you're going to go through serious steps to authenticate. Then finally you get to the actual tests. I think it's very similar as ProctorU, but thing is, you don't have a particular proctor will guide you step by step. But this one, you just pretty much on your own to go through steps. So any questions so far?
I guess I do have one question, and it's not necessarily about honor lock. It's more just about the exam window itself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a private office. It's actually just in the main floor of my house. And the weekend is probably one of the worst times when my husband and my kids are home. Is there any way to have it during a weekday? Or is that more like I just need to do it at like 3 a.m. or something?
Well, if it's ProctorU, like a different service, probably we can set it up. But this one, I don't know we can do so. Because I never done that. I never done any makeup for this product, so.
Yeah, no, I'll have to tell him to just kind of go away for a while or go do something. But.
Yeah, probably better, just want to, you put yourself in the corner or somewhere. Hopefully they don't bother you too much.
Yeah, that's my only concern. It's just, I mean, they're little, so,
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anything else? Anybody else? Question about how to start, how to go through this stuff? But I think somewhere in the step, they're going to ask you pay for, but that's not sure because again, we don't have any formal contract. This is kind of testing process. So I think they're going to ask you pay for it. If they don't, then it's going to be free. So I don't know one way or another because that's what I heard. So, but you want to? I think you need to expect to pay for it. But if it's lucky, maybe you don't have to. So. All right. So this time, the actual test itself. So I'm going to go to. Let me just close it. Analog Then I'm going to go to content. Here we go, student view. So I'm going to go to tests folder. I'm going to click unlock test 1. Under unlock test 1, we have review. So these are the list of skills that will be tested. So mainly modules 1, 2, 3, but very, very little for module 3. Module 3 is about, I think I need to talk about module 3, by the way. That's why it's going to include only very little from module 3. The main thing about module 3 is right there. Those functions, sum, average, max, min, count. And of course, there are many other functions that will appear in module 3, but they are not will be tested. Okay, so that's, these are the kind of function you're going to expect from the module 3. And other than that, pretty much modules 1 and 2. Because as you can imagine that what module 1, module 2 are pretty much working with formatting and all those basic functions that you work with Excel. So it's not a lot of calculations. But if there will be calculation, that would be calculating percentage and working with conditional formatting that I'm going to show you in just a minute. So here's the actual list of those skills up here in modules 1 and 2. Okay. As you can see, just pretty much things that we went over: alignment, copying, paste, merge, working with built-in cells, different themes, table style. I don't think we're going to do a lot of table style, but that's one of them. But conditional formatting, that obviously we're going to have the conditional formatting so that you can highlight certain areas of worksheets based on rules and conditions. And entering header, footer, just like entering your name in the header or footer, for example. Then you need to understand, one thing you need to understand from module 3 is a difference between relative, absolute, mixed reference. The simple way we can put it is relative is just the Excel is smart enough so that Excel always trying to copy and change it by itself in terms of cell reference. That's the relative. Absolute cell reference is when you enter $ into the cell reference so that you want to make those cell reference fixed. So those cell reference would not change as you copy to other cells. That sounds a little bit, kind of hard to understand, but it's about no $, adding $, that's the absolute cell reference, and mixed cell reference, that's adding $ into only one position rather than two positions for cell reference, because cell reference consists of a column and row. So you can have it enter $ into only one position. If you enter into the very first position, for example, that's A1, I think I read it just showing in the Excel, It's not easy to understand with just, this summary here. So let me explain that when we work with Excel. And calculating dates, autofill, running total. The running total is out of, let's see, running total I think is from module 2 or module 3. So running total is a cumulative total, meaning that you're going to keep adding your items as you go down in the cell, in the column. So you're adding for example, A1, then you're adding A1, A2, then adding A1, A2, A3. So you keep adding all the way down to the very last one at the bottom. So that's the cumulative total. Okay. So that's what's going to be tested. So let's take a look sample question. And this is a simpler format. I think it should be very simple compared to actual tests. Actual tests, you can have a little more data than this, but I want to make it simpler so that we have a quick understanding. So what we have here is you're going to add some function in terms of here total expenses, right? As you go through here, A, B through G. So for January, you have total, February at the bottom total by entering some function. Okay, so that's one of instruction. Same thing, column H, you want to add those numbers across this time. Okay, cross, then you add a sum all the way down. So one thing you're going to do is you're going to use just sum function here, then you autofill all the way down. Right? So that's what you want to do rather than doing like 10 or 15 different times. So that's the total across, total top to bottom and across. Then you have number of expenses item that ask you to use this count function. So you use count function to count number of items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 items. It's going to ask you to use count function to count number of items in expenses using column B. So you need to use count equals count, then you highlight B7 through B15. Then Excel will give you number 9 as an answer. Okay, so that's another one using count function. Savings item, the question asks you to find difference between income and expenses. So whether you have saving or you have loss, because income is less than expenses, then you're going to have loss, right? So that's why you're going to find income minus expenses will be savings. Then you're going to just again autofill this B19 across all the way down. So that's basically what you're going to calculate in terms of some crunching numbers. Other than that, then it's going to ask you to format, for example, the merge and center. So you want to merge and center A1 to H1. Then you highlight across, then you click merge and center so that this title will place in the middle. Okay. So what I'm referring is just this direction. It's all here. Okay. So I'm using on this sheets as kind of a data set so that I can show you what to do. Then you're going to use a conditional formatting. You're going to have to use a greater than, less than, top and bottom rules. So I can show you more examples. So I just want to show you what kind of questions you can expect. Okay. And here we go. Running total. It's going to ask you find the running total or cumulative total. And again, merge and center that I just explained, that you're going to merge and center this A1 and then you put it into middle for A1 through H1. So you highlight it, then you put it into merge and center. Okay, so that's kind of give you idea of what kind of stuff. But let's just take a look real one, which is sample question set 2, this one. So I already downloaded here, right here. This one has a little different format. I don't know if it's good or bad for you guys. Probably could be a little tricky because you need to go back and forth. So this is the the data sheets, and these are the instructions. Okay, so you need to go back and forth. If you don't like it, then probably you can just copy it and you want to put it here so you can read it at the same time. Okay, I just want to separate because it can mixed up. Then we could have been trouble. That's why I separate them. Okay, you can do this way so you don't have to go back and forth. Okay. So I don't think we're going to use HY, but to be safe, you want to paste onto like a little further, then you should not have any problem. Okay, so let's take a look. First step. All right. If you have any questions, just stop me. All right, so here we go. A1, F1, that's a range. Apply accent 6 style. So I'm going to highlight A1, F1. I'll go to style right here. Accent style 6. Change it, font size 18. There you go. Merge and center A1, A1, F2. That's the range. Merge and center is right here. Okay. Apply 40% accent 6 cell style. So I'm going to go to style again. 40%. This one accent 6. Font size 12. Okay. A4, A5 this time. A4, A5. Unmerge. So this one has been merged. A1, A5. No. I think I skipped this one. Number 3. A4, A5. Change the alignment. Okay. Change the alignment to right. There you go. Unmerge B4, C4. B4, C4. These are merged, as you can see, this guy. So I'm going to click, then I'm going to go to merge and center. Then you click drop down, then you see the unmerged cell. Right? Then you're going to click unmerge so that they are now separated. Step 5, format the date and application total. Date, what is the date? Oh, this date, okay. Format. Okay, maybe different date format. I think we need a little bit more specific, long date. Then total, the reformat. So, no, really. Something like that, okay. For example, okay. For A4, B5, A4, B5 altogether, 40% X style 5. Go to style, 40 style X and 5. Then change the font size 12. So very straightforward. For B4, B5, bold, and format the date. We did it already. Then 7, B4, apply the long date. Yeah, I did it already. 8, find and replace all instances applications, because there's a typo application. So find and replace this like we're doing in Words. Right here in the toolbar, find and replace. So you need to find applications 1P, yeah, with the correct spelling, applications. Okay, replace. Okay. Wait a minute. Find application. Didn't change. Replace. Oh, there you go. So this right here, A5 has a typo, so that's what we are doing. Change the applications. Okay. All right. So that was find and replace. 9, format application table by clearing format from A6, F6. A6, F6. Actually G6. No, just follow the direction. Clear the format so that there will be no, formatting stuff, color or borderline font and things like that. 10 percentage, right? B6, so column B. Find percentage of application number. So what we have is each state, column A. Column B, we have application numbers. Actually, this didn't change it for some reason. Number of applications, column B. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to take applications for each state and divide by total number, okay, which is right here. I think that's something we need to do it now. We should have done already. So B5, yeah. You're going to have to use B5. Okay, this is the number, okay. So we're going to use this number as a base. So we take that, divide by this number. So that will be percent total, right? So Alabama divided by total application right here, which is that. And we need to show as a percent style. So I'm going to click percent style. The 2 decimal places. And don't forget, we learn about absolute cell reference, adding $sign to B5. Why? So that we can autofill the rest of the column, okay? Autofill, then see that all those B5 stay same. Only changing is just a B9, B8, B9, B10. That's what's going to change calculation, okay? That's the reason we are adding $sign. Without it, without $sign, then you're going to, I'm sure you understand it. And then let's say we don't have $sign into B5, the divisor, see what happens. We got all those values are incorrect, right? That's why we need to have a $sign when you have your divisor is fixed, just like that, okay? All right, that's our calculating percentage. So I'm sure you're going to have a percentage calculation. 11, enter the formula to calculate difference between percent total and percent of population, meaning that column D has some number already. in terms of percent of population, which is not really significant. So we don't have to understand. All we do is we use it into our formula. So meaning that we take, say, what is it? Okay, so we're gonna, right here, percent total minus percent population. That's what we're gonna do. So percent total minus percent population. So that's what we're gonna apply for the rest of the column. Okay. Afterwards, conditional formatting. Add the conditional formatting using highlight cells, specifying. Come on, move away. Less than rule. Okay, a cell with a light red field when contains less than negative 0.01. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show this column entering conditional formatting less than negative 0.01, right? Then we're going to show us a red fill and dark red texts. Okay. Oops, too far. There you go. So that was step 12. Step 13, add another conditional formatting, this time above average for column E, 6, the same column. Okay, we apply that above average. Why not? Conditional formatting, top and bottom, above average is right here. So we don't have to know what's the average. We just want to highlight the numbers above average. There you go. Oops. I think we need to choose different color, right? Yellow, how about that? Okay, that was 13, 14. Counting number format to F, 2 decimal places, and $sign. Counting format, 2 decimal places. There you go. G, and the formula to find the running total. There comes the running total. A budget in column F. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep adding this. So right here, it will show itself, F8. But next, G9, we're going to add this 2. Okay. G10, we're going to add this 3. G11, we're going to add those 4. So we're going to keep adding all the way down. So that's what we're going to do. We can do it like this, right? Self, and here plus that. We keep doing that, but that's not efficient, right? So rather than doing that, why don't we use the sum function? Sum of this number, again, same cell, which is F8, but we're going to have F8 fixed. So only allowed to change F8, the second F8. So it'll become F9 in the next cell, F10 right below, F11, F12 is keep growing just like that by doing autofill, as you can see. There you go. Right, so that's how you're going to calculate the cumulative total. or a running total, what they call. So that was step 15. Step 16, apply total cell style and apply F60. Column B. Oh, at the bottom. Actually, we don't have the total here. I think we're supposed to have total here. Either the direction didn't have it, or I think I forgot to have it. Either way. So I'm going to have a total cross. So B6, B60, C60 by total sense. There's two. Then I have total style right here. Style, total is right there. I think we're gonna mix. All right, so that's it. Let's go back. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a set of questions like this. All right, so any questions? Oops, what is this? All right, anybody? Question?
I don't have any questions.
Dr. Park, can we,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say I have no questions, but thanks for going through that. That was pretty good.
Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Park, will there be any type, like discussion type questions or like essay questions to expect on the test?
No,
or just, okay.
only Excel.
Okay.
Like
Thank
this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else? All right, so when you take the test, again, this is your first time, but no panic if you have trouble trying to talk to the help or whoever available, on the app. And you should be okay. All right.
Awesome.
No questions?
No, sir, I don't think.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.